Hello everyone, this is Aegis, and here is the third game between the British Columbia Institute of Technology and Texas A&M. And here I do have the red Terran player spawning, Florun, spawning here for Texas A&M, and his ally, Sojourner is spawning as the blue Protoss. Both of them will be playing for Texas A&M, and on the other side we do have Chopper, the teal Zerg player, and his ally, AdrenaLing, spawning as the pink Terran player. Interesting names here. It does sound like their names are swapped. AdrenaLing is probably a reference to the Cracklings, and we do have Protoss moving out with the Source Probe. These 2v2 games do tend to be pretty short. Sojourner is getting his pylon at the ramp, does want to wall off. And these games are from the Collegiate Star League. The Collegiate Star League is a league of 144 colleges. I know this is sounding like a broken record, but please go check out our site at cmstarleague.com. You can check out the replay packs from weeks past. This is from week 10, I believe. You can also check out all of the other interesting stuff. We have media, articles, and other things like that. Chopper is getting his pool on 14, and AdrenaLing also getting his barracks up. We also do have the Collegiate Masters Star League coming up at UMBC on February 12th. If you're interested in this, you can send us an email at cmstarleague@gmail.com, and we'll tell you all about it. Florun going for double racks here, and is continuing to make SCVs. We might be seeing an early push here from Sojourner and Florun. They are getting double gateways here, not quite grabbing gas here. It does look like we will be seeing a Zealot push with Marines as backup. We do have Chopper getting his expansion at a normal timing. What is this, 1v1? This is a team game here. You gotta play non-standard. He is getting his gas now. He's moving his overlords across the map for good spotting here. AdrenaLing getting his second barracks up. Does want to be able to produce enough Marines to help defend. Also getting a bunker down. I presume he does know about these double gates. And we also see the chrono boost being spent on those Zealots. Definitely wants to get out a ton of Zealots early on. Continuing to make those probes, always good. Want to have some sort of late game plan even if you are rushing. Chopper's expansion is almost complete. We do not quite yet see speed. He does not have enough gas for that yet, but we do see Sojourner getting additional Zealots, getting a little supply block there. Does want to get down. He's getting his gas now. Maybe they've abandoned ship on their original plan. We'll see if they do decide to push out. We also do see Florun getting his gas up. Maybe they did scout the front and see that there was a bunker and they really did not want to push that. AdrenaLing now loading that up. Will be able to defend against, well, that's quite a bit of Marines and Zealots moving out here, and there's only 4 Zerglings here. It does look like the British Columbia Institute of Technology team might be in a little bit of trouble here if they cannot reinforce this anymore. AdrenaLing needs to put those Marines in that bunker. We do have the push coming up, and it does look like there's barely enough to hold this off that bunker. It will be able to deal with these Marines easily. We do have the Chopper's Lings moving up to push the Marines back. Additional Zealots spawning and charging into battle here. That bunker is about to go down. Repair it, AdrenaLing. There we go. Getting the repair off the Zealot, moving forward once again. But it does look like the rush has been denied. The gas choice has been good so that he can start getting the tech up that he needs. All of the units now streaming back to base. Gonna throw up some bunkers here to help defend the natural expansions that they will need to get. AdrenaLing and Chopper looking quite a ways ahead because they have had the chance to get their natural expansions. We'll see if they are able to put the hurt on them, on their opponents real soon. Speed now completing, and the Speedlings are moving out. AdrenaLing rebuilding those bunkers here. And we do see the Cybernetics core almost complete for our Protoss player, as well as his third gateway. Tons of Zealots still pouring out. Florun getting those bunkers up. Chopper moving forward. The Zerglings doesn't want to try to run by. Gotta lift that supply depot just in time. All the Zerglings getting taken out there. What a huge loss, just running around, not getting even able to see that much, just seeing that the expansion timing is delayed. It does look like Chopper has lost tons of units in that exchange, but is still able to hold on to his hatchery here, which is always good. We do see a Baneling's Nest coming up. Maybe they do want to go for a bust. We do see the Warp Gate research being chrono boosted out here. The first ranged unit for Protoss now popping out. Terra now grabbing the double gas and getting the stim pack upgrade. On the other side, we do have AdrenaLing getting his factory up, as well as getting his first tech lab up. This does want to get those upgrades on the way as well. We do have a nice wall off here, the engineering bay also serving as a good wall, leaving just a little bit of a gap for units to move in and out. Zerg does like to have a gap here. None of their units are ranged until later on in the game. It looks like Florun is trying to secure his expansion as well. And we do have the Stimpack upgrade finishing, and the Stimpack upgrade just starting for AdrenaLing here. Warp gates are now complete for Sojourner, the only Protoss player in this game. We do have 3 warp gates now warping in 3 additional stalkers to help bolster this army. We also have a sensor tower here, going to be able to sense for any drops. These Zerglings also doing their part spotting over here. We do have a Zerg getting he does have his lair. We'll see what he's going to try to do with that lair. His production doesn't show much except for those overlords. We'll see what he decides to do. We do have a robotics facility coming up for our Protoss player, and is now transferring probes to his now completed natural expansion. More Marines and Marauders pouring out for AdrenaLing, now starting the infantry weapons level 1. Chopper grabbing the second gas at his natural expansion. We also do see a spire on the way. There it is, it's hidden. We have additional sensor towers being thrown up by AdrenaLing. Definitely does not want to lose to any sort of drop or harassment there. We now have a Sojourner and Florun moving out with a large force here. Is going to try to bust up the front. Scan going down. These 2 bunkers will be able to hold their own though, I believe, as well as a turret up front to scout for any DTs. We do have observers now on the way for our Protoss player. We do have also Banelings for Chopper. His spire is almost complete. Thousands of minerals in the bank for somebody had 1,000 minerals. Yeah, AdrenaLing has tons of minerals. He's got to spend those minerals or he's gonna run far behind. He's getting a fusion core here. I see the outline here, so he is going for battle cruisers. We'll see if those battle cruisers are gonna be able to do the damage, and to see if they're worth it in this game. Florun, it might do well for him to salvage these 2 bunkers. He is doing quite well in the defensive area here. He doesn't really need these 2 bunkers in the front. We see a forge, a gateway coming down, as well as a robotics bay. The Colossus Den is now coming. He's not quite spending his chrono boost here. Needs to get those chrono boosts spending. It will be able to get units out much faster. A Zealot moving out possibly to take control of that Zelnaga Watchtower. Also wants to check on this side expansion, make sure that they're not sneaking a 3rd base earlier than they are. AdrenaLing also keeping his bunkers up front, and now having his natural expansion fully saturated, is getting the combat shield upgrade for his Marines, as well as let's see, the weapon refit, or the Yamato cannon for the battle cruisers. He does have battle cruisers on the way now. Infantry armor level 1 also now coming down. We do have infantry weapons level 1 coming for our red Terran player as well. He's so far behind on this natural expansion that it does look like the army tab. When we take a look at the army tab, it does look like the British Columbia team is a little bit ahead in terms of that. I think there are Mutalisks here. Yes, there are Mutalisks now coming through. Is being held off a little bit by the units here. There's a Marine stimming running forward again. Is getting into the back here of the mineral line of the Protoss player. Mutalisks always make Protoss want to jump off a cliff. Stalkers now being able to hold off those Mutalisks. The Mutalisks are running straight into those Stalkers. Gonna be able to take out another Mutalisk here, as well as these cannons cleaning it up. Sojourner looking to secure this expansion as well. He does have the Zealot spotting here, will know the expansion timing for the opponents. Baneling's moving to the front here now. The Zerg is starting to spread his creep, and looks like AdrenaLing is looking to secure this side expansion as his third base as well. Florun looking to go for a drop, does have a medevac full of Marines here, is going to drop one off at this watchtower, and we do have Sojourner moving to this side. Perhaps he wants to go for an attack on this base, going to deny this base. Possibly he's moving forward now. He does have these Marines here, gonna get wiped out by the force coming out of our Protoss player. And we do have the Baneling still moving forward. That command center is gonna start running away. Sojourner not quite committing to that attack, is gonna back out there, and AdrenaLing is just gonna land his command center again and start mining. His battle cruisers are now out on the field. He's getting additional battle cruisers, and now going back and getting a ton of barracks. Sojourner going for a mainly Stalker Colossus force. Those battle cruisers, if left unchecked, can do tons of damage. We do have more Colossus coming out for the blue Protoss player, and a huge engagement here. We do have the battle cruiser doing plenty of damage, and the Marines and Marauders are trying to back up here. That battle cruiser is being reinforced by the Lings moving forward, is going to be able to get a good surround on these armies, and the weapon refit, the Yamato cannon going off on the Colossus, and it looks like those Mutalisks will be able to take down one of those Colossus, and they're moving forward once again. A ton of Lings. It's mainly Zerglings here. If they can hit this at the right angle, it does look like the Texas and A&M team might be able to take this force out here. Gonna kill off that battle cruiser there, and this planetary fortress is now doing the work on those Zealots here. The Mutalisks continuing bouncing back and forth. The Colossus spotting up the high ground for the Zerglings, I mean for the Marines. Additional Colossus just walking by here is going to have to back out of there. These Marines just continually stimming, going to be able to run those medevacs out of energy real soon. And we do see more Zerglings, Banelings popping out of our Zerg player. Florun is still sticking with his Marine Marauder ball. Protoss is now getting his ground armor level 1. He does have this third base now partially saturated. Is using the Colossus to outrange this planetary fortress. It looks like red Florun is controlling the army for the Texas A&M team. Gonna make that army all the more stronger. Gonna be able to move as a perfectly cohesive ball, and does look like Zerg is forgetting that the front of Terran was wide open there. The red Terran is now taking this as his third base. The Zerg player does not look like he knows about it, so he's going to be morphing those Banelings, going to be trying to maybe secure this center gold expansion. He has a 3,000 food, not quite being able to spend it all. AdrenaLing also getting tons of battle cruisers, is also low on food and has nearly 2,000 minerals. It does look like the Texas A&M team is doing a much better job of spending their money efficiently. This army could be that much larger if he had spent it all. He's going to cancel that command center. He does know about that army moving forward. Now massing up this entire army here, we do have Sojourner moving his forces up to the expansion here. Is going to pause here. They do want to move together as a group, don't want to get any one group caught out of position. Sojourner looking to expand over here once again on these mineral fields. These weren't even mined by the pink Terran player. We do have 4 battle cruisers on the field, going to be moving forward doing the little shooting action here. The lasers going off on those Marines. And the Marines and Marauders moving forward as well. All of those Colossus just roasting away those Marines is going to force AdrenaLing to back up and wait for his ally to help reinforce here. That battlecruiser too slow to get away. Banelings all burrowed here. Those Banelings will be going off real soon once those Marines get parked over it. The Zerglings moving forward as well. Those Banelings are selected now, and unleashing the pain there, blowing up on the entire red army. And looking at the food counts here, we do see that red is actually doing quite well, being able to re-macro that up very easily. We do have the battlecruisers versus Colossus, but not that many Stalkers left over here. The medevacs are completely useless. It does look like these battlecruisers are going to be able to clean this up. Colossus are going to have to run out of there. We do have these Stalkers coming forward again, going to be able to do their additional damage against armored, taking out a battlecruiser, and is going to back up here. Additional Stalkers spawning here. We do have Florun getting those Vikings out. Does want to be able to deal with those battlecruisers well. Red is actually the farthest ahead in terms of food count during this game. We have this battlecruiser going to get caught out of position there. The Stalkers moving forward, going to be able to take that battlecruiser out, I believe. That battlecruiser's days are really short-lived. Stalkers even be able to take on those Marines here. Zealots spawning here, not quite having charge yet, but those Stalkers are doing a great job of taking out all of those battlecruisers. Pink player definitely has lost the most number of minerals here with those battlecruisers. This lone battlecruiser here, again, battlecruisers need to be well protected and not just left out to dry like this one here. Florun moving forward with a rather large army here, going to reinforce his ally Sojourner, the blue Protoss. And it's starting to look pretty grim for Chopper and his ally AdrenaLing. We'll see what the blue Protoss is going to do. He does have a Templar out on the field. He also is getting the Storm Research, I believe. Yes, it's halfway complete. Florun is sitting nicely at 152 food. AdrenaLing trying to resecure another expansion. We do have Chopper sitting at 3,000 minerals. Wow, that's a lot of money, and he's not max. If they lose this game, it might be because of this. You don't want to be sitting on a trust fund, especially if you're max. And we do have Chopper now getting additional upgrades, also getting the Hive up, maybe going for those Ultralisks. He has tons of Banelings on the way. He still has 2,000 minerals in the bank. Florun looking to secure the gold expansions. Usually this never happens on this map, Scorched Haven. These expansions are just so hard to hold because of their location. Tons of mules being thrown down here, I assume soon. Yeah, there we go. It's gonna skyrocket his income as if he did not have enough resources already. If we take a look at production, we do see Zerg getting his melee attacks level 1 now. But Protoss is working on a +3/+3 on attack and armor here, so it looks like Protoss is going to be really far ahead. Those Colossus are going to do absurd amounts of damage as soon as that +3 is complete. Not that they don't already. Not quite having as much saturation as is natural as he would probably like. He's still mining at this expansion, only now really getting the saturation available here and at this base. It's looking like our Texas A&M team is pulling really far ahead. The Zerg and his Terran friend are gonna need to make something happen real soon if they are gonna try to win this game. Zerg now spending that trust fund, finally reaching over 100 food. Florun getting close to max. He needs to get on supply blocks so that he can max out his army here. Gonna get some siege shanks up at the gold expansion. Protoss just moving his army back and forth. This game is so long for a 2v2. Usually the games end by now. We do have a ninja attack over here at this expansion. It's not a planetary fortress, so these Marines are going to be able to take out tons of SCVs before AdrenaLing's own Marines come over here and are going to be able to clean this up. Florun streaming in with all of his units now. And Chopper trying to reinforce with these Zerglings, but not quite knowing what to do with them. He just needs to go for the attack and try to pinch this army off, but not quite able to commit to that. We do have Protoss moving over here. Feedback going off on that battlecruiser. We should be seeing additional feedbacks from that battlecruiser. Losing a ton of health there. Feedback doing a great job. All of these Corruptors are completely useless. They can only take out just that one Colossus. And these Marines and Marauders are getting surrounded by the Banelings. And oh, all the Banelings going off, killing off the entire army of Florun. And all that's left is Sojourner's gigantic ground force. Florun is backing out of there, losing us nearly 70 food there, but he still has a pretty mighty force in the center. AdrenaLing looking pretty sad here at 100 food and almost bankrupt. We do have a Terran Terran is now sitting on 2,000 minerals worth of stuff. He's going to be able to reinforce them very nicely. Sojourner also sitting in nearly getting close to that 200 food count, and the Chopper is running dry in his main. He's gone in his main, running dry at his natural. Same deal with AdrenaLing. He's completely mined out here. All he has is this expansion. If Texas A&M can lock that down, they will secure a win. Chopper, tons of drones here just sitting idle. He's got to get those back to work if he wants to be able to win this game. Protoss now moving forward once again. Broodlords on the way. Storm going off on the Broodlords. And battlecruisers trying to reinforce. Those Corruptors gonna unmorph there. Gonna try to get away from their AdrenaLing. Getting his battlecruisers fed back once again. Now pushing in for the win now. We do have all of these Zealots charging in. The bunkers were completely empty there. The Colossus and Marines now streaming forward. Seashanks still guarding the center. Additional Colossus just chilling here. They're going to be able to win this without doing anything. We also have Dark Templar in the mix. Blink now completing every single upgrade in the books. We do have the Broodlords desperately trying to morph there, but it does look like the impending death of the British Columbia team is coming. The Marines are right up against those Broodlords. We'll be able to take those out really easily. The Colossus is going to roast away all of those Broodlings. And the Vikings now reinforcing. Tons of Vikings out on the field. We'll be able to take out these really easily. Blink now completing and going to be able to take out those Broodlords. Those are Chopper's last hopes of being able to survive. He still has this expansion, and AdrenaLing and Chopper do call GG, and this game goes to Texas A&M, bringing this to 2-1 in favor of Texas A&M. The British Columbia is going to have to win the next game in order to stay in this, and we'll be going right into Game 4.